Welcome to the Overdue podcast. Today is a special edition where we are doing keep, loan, sell. It's three parts, and the first part is goalkeepers and defenders. Right, Andrew, starting off with goalkeepers. Let's just share the screen. There we go. So, first goalkeeper, we've got Kepa Arrizabalaga, currently on loan at Real Madrid. He started off as the number one favourite. As soon as he moved, he said that he's enjoying himself. He doesn't want to come back to Chelsea. And since then, he's sort of found himself in and out of the team with another goalkeeper who I can't remember. And it's basically a 50-50 choice of who's playing.
I think that's Angeli Lunin.
Yes, I thought it was Lonin or something like that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is Lunin. Yeah, thank you for that.
Sell, get rid, easy one. If he doesn't want to be there, get rid.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes. Apparently, Chelsea have come out recently and said that anyway. They're looking to sell him for 21 million or something. They're gonna lose like
Decent,
50 million or something.
decent.
But take it.
We have done some serious player write-offs in the accounts recently, and I think that's one of them that we've just decided is not worth our time. And we've written most of his value off, and I think the other one is Lukaku. We must have written off most of his value as well.
Let's just wait till we get to that. We'll wait till we get to that. We've got a long way to go before we get to him.
Yeah,
Um,
Sanchez,
Sanchez.
obvious keep. I think we need a certain number of goalkeepers. I'm not sure that I would give him the starting 11 nod immediately back. I think he's got to work his way back. I think Petrovic has been very good for us since Sanchez got injured.
Yeah.
And is arguably a better shot stopper. And I'm less nervous with him with the ball at his feet because I think he just makes better decisions. I don't think he's better with the ball at his feet. I just think he makes better decisions and is quicker at making those decisions. Obviously, watch him completely cock everything up against Liverpool. No, I said that, but Petrovic obviously keep as well. He's done well for us. Bettinelli is a keep because he's old and helps the England quota and is just a fine. He's the third choice goalkeeper.
We don't really know much about him. He's not really played.
No,
So,
I did think it was a bit odd to loan Slanina out at the start of the season because I just thought
yeah.
he was a good option. But I think now he's out on loan and we've got those three. You keep him out on loan and decide in the summer if Sanchez is the goalkeeper that we want or who we start with next season. If Petrovic is the starting goalkeeper, maybe we keep Slanina.
Well, with that,
choice, but he's also a young bloke and needs minutes. So I think loan makes sense if he's not going to start for us.
he's on loan at the moment, and he's made 21 appearances in all competitions for Eupen, 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 in the Belgian league. They are currently 14th out of 16 teams, and they've let in 43 goals.
Decent.
Won 5, drawn 3, lost 13. Now, obviously, you don't know how good the defense is with that, but I thought it would be interesting to see where they were in the league and the goals that they've let in. So he's currently out on loan, and you would probably keep him out on loan, wouldn't you? Because, like you said, Petrovic has done a lot.
Arguably, I'd like him loaned out in the English leagues.
Yeah.
To be honest, just getting used to that. Even if it's the Championship, just somewhere that he's going to play football and in England. But yeah, I think he's not going to be the starting goalkeeper this season for me at the minute. Petrovic has got that. So I think leave him out on loan and hope he can find some form.
Sweet.
Defenders.
Badiashile.
Badiashile for me is an easy keep. I think he offers something that the others don't have in his height and his frame. He's just a lot bigger than everyone else. I think he's reasonable enough on the ball, and I think he's a decent defender. And as our left centre back options being him and Colwill, I'm more than sort of happy with those that they'll sort of fight for that place and grow as defenders. And I think they both get a fair amount of minutes. Thiago Silva, definitely at this stage is a keep. I think in the summer you start looking at your options and go, I really want him to have around the club. Should he be playing week in, week out? Probably not. And that's a position where you start thinking we need to bring someone through. I would like it to be Fofana, but
I
he's perennially injured, so that makes life very difficult.
If he's still playing how he's playing now in the summer, he stays for another year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against him staying for at least another year, but it's what he wants to do.
I mean, he has come out and said he feels like his time is coming to an end. But
Yeah,
is that because he feels that, or is in like he doesn't feel like he can do it anymore to the ability that he would like to be able to play, or is that the kind of the emphasis that the club are putting on the situation, and he's then going, I'm assuming and I'm feeling that this is it because what the club are saying to him or suggesting to him. Um,
I think it's more that the fact that
yeah,
he's been stumped for captain on multiple occasions, and I think they are trying to shift him. Is Fofana
I
there?
don't know why they would want to like even if they did have him on the books for a year and they said like you're not going to make that many appearances, but just having him in and around the squad, I think, is massive.
Have you put Fofana in this?
Well, as you've mentioned him, we'll put him straight
We'll
in.
stick him in the keep. I think we paid far too much money for him, but on his day, he's an exceptionally good defender. He's good with the ball at his feet, can play a long pass. But bloke can't stay fit.
I agree. We keep him. If he gets injured next season between September and December, I'd be putting up for sale January because he's out. He's out until April apparently. So we're not going to really see that much of him. If he gets injured, if he comes back at the end of the season and he gets injured again, and it's supposed to be like it's not looking good, cut your losses, sell him in the summer to whoever, or let him go, release him from his contract. Like, there's no point having him on the books. I like him. I think he's brilliant. I was so excited when we bought him, but he's one of the players for me where I'm like, one more time, you're gone. You are gone. And I'm not saying it's his fault. It's not like it's an attitude thing. It's not like it's a temperament thing. It's a serious injury he's had, but with everything we've got going on, we can't afford. So we have to, for me, we have to sell him if we could, but we'll make a loss. Or I don't know whether cutting our losses and getting rid of his contract helps us with financial fair play. I'd leave that to you. You know more about that than me, but I keep him, but he's on thin ice with me because of the injuries.
Okay, interesting. Just note that one for later, guys. Just when we talk about other players and see if we keep the same
No,
strict.
there's a few where I'm like, yeah,
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Dizazi, I think if we had more fit centre backs, I would sell him. But
then for me he goes in sell.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
being
the ideal
funny,
world we sell Dizazi.
but we've
I
even
don't
said it
think he's
before. We
quite
we
work.
both feel we both feel he came in because of the issue that we had at centre back.
Yeah,
I do think he's improved. I will
yeah.
say that I do think he's been playing out of position for half the fucking games he's played, if
Wait,
not more.
weirdly enough, he looks better at right back. That's my problem. But
He's played more at right back. He's had to get used to it
yeah,
more.
and maybe with Thiago Silva potentially leaving, I think he ends up being the most experienced one, and you give him the benefit of the doubt in there. But
Take the squad situations out the equation.
fine, if I don't think he should be in our squad, if everyone's fit, I don't see what he's got that other players don't have.
I agree.
Colwell easily in there. I think he's our best long range passer. Needs to stop playing at left back and start playing at left centre back. Obviously, that's not his fault, but we are where we are with that one.
Do you know what?
Reece,
Having them, sorry, just to interrupt, lining them up here, I tell you what, I would love to have seen Fofana and Colwell playing together. Even bad is
yeah.
Shield and Fofana, to be fair, but yeah, I mean,
Reece James must be on your list of potentialities. but I think
He is.
he's
No,
a
he is.
cheap
I love
slate.
him. I love him. But I've brought statistics to back this up.
Right, go for it.
So in the season 2019 to 2020, he played 37 times for us in all competitions and scored 2 goals. 2021, he played 47 times for us in all competitions, only got 1 goal. 21-22, 38 times, 6 goals. 22 to 23, he only played 24 times in all competitions, 2 goals. And this season, he's played 9. Like the last two seasons, the
There's some
last two
diminishing
seasons haven't been good.
returns there, but and I do think maybe little less time on the weights and a little more time in the stretching might help him. I don't know a lot about fitness, as you can tell, but I just think on his day, there's not many better than him.
Especially in England. For me, fully fit Reece James. The only one that I would have in front of him is Kyle Walker.
Yeah, I think that's fair
But he is on my list. Yeah, I'll keep him.
because
But
he's one that we could still get a fair amount of money for. But
well, Real Madrid have always sniffed around him, you know. But I'd like to see
I
him
think
stay.
I think a lot of our problems could be solved by just getting the best doctors in the world in.
Well, this is it. This is another reason I want to do this. And apparently, I actually read it this morning when I was doing some stuff, or maybe last night when I was doing some work on this. I think it was Mikel came out and said that 6 months into Mourinho's first um, round with us, first time with us, he got rid of the medical staff because he said they are not good enough and they are not at the same like our players haven't got the best medical staff. He's like they're not good for our players, and he completely changed the medical team. And Mikel said that was an absolute game changer because he said it's just
Yes,
not working.
and I
And
think Bowley's done that, but in the opposite way, where we had probably a pretty decent medical staff, and he's got rid of everyone, and now no one knows what the fuck's going on. And he's bought a load of injury-prone players to go along with them. So it's
yeah,
not.
I don't agree with certain players that we bought who are injured and or have had serious injuries beforehand. I think we bought too many of those.
But
But
Rich
going
James
back
goes in
to
key.
Keith, yes. But if he's still struggling, this time next year, he's gone for me.
That's fair.
Or I would say actually out of everybody on that list, he would be the only one that I would risk. I believe from off the top of my head, but we'll work on that as I go through because
Okay.
there's more.
Cucurella's a sell. I think if he stayed fit, he would be in the keep one as an okay backup. Personally, I think I'd rather have seen Matson as the backup and see what he can do. And he's obviously gone out on loan.
Well, Matson's next on the list, which is quite handy.
Yeah, well, he's already gone out
I
on
I
loan, but
agree. With Matson, I'm a little bit confused with what's happened there.
yeah, I think inevitably it ends up being a sell on the basis that for whatever reason he's not fancied. I haven't seen enough of him to counteract that and say no, this he's absolutely mustard. I think he probably will be one that shows his quality later on. He hasn't really played at left back when he's played for Chelsea. He's kind of played further up the pitch, and
He played right back at one point. I saw a Chelsea fan talking the other day. Talk Sport. He came on, played right back, and Colwell played left wing back. And he was saying, "Well, why is he playing at right back when actually he could play left back and everyone else can shift along?" I thought actually it's not fair. It's not a fair shout. That sorry, it is a fair shout. That. But he signed a new contract before he went out on loan.
I think that's to keep the value though, because he hasn't got
Yeah,
a long
it
contract
probably
to let him
was.
go out on loan. They needed to keep his value high.
Am I right in thinking that Dortmund have an option to buy
I
in
don't know.
summer?
I think they might do. I think there were rumours that Chelsea were trying to make an obligation to buy, which is rogue.
Yeah.
Probably shows how much we don't want him. But yeah, I think if Poch isn't that big a fan of him to play him in that left back slot when we need a left back, and he plays centre backs instead, then
So
I don't think I can argue, and he ends up being a sell. Obviously, he helps the whole FFP situation. I think that's one that we could end up ruining a fair bit. But yeah, it's difficult. Gusto is a keep, but you've got to keep an eye on injuries.
it's not quite on that list yet for me, but he's on the fringe.
The reason he's on that list for me is because of the other players that play his position are on that list.
But
So
we
I
only
think,
have one other player on that list that plays that position, and that's one of the things for me. It's we've
and
got
he also has coverage at left back, right? And the left back is
yeah,
also probably on that list.
yes,
And
he
at
is.
that point, you go, would we rather have Reece James and then someone that is probably not quite as good as Gusto, but is perennially fit and can play every game? Or do you go with Malo Gusto? Malo Gusto isn't exactly how many games has he played this season? It can't be much more than 9.
I didn't think about Malo Gusto for that in that area. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that I didn't think about him in that state.
Because he hasn't been fit a hell of a lot.
No, I mean he's obviously been fitter than Reece James, and the thing with Reece James is the reason he stands out is because it's been going on for 2 seasons at
Yeah.
least, if not into that 21-22, because he only got 39 appearances in that season.
Yeah.
14.
It's not It's not a lot more. Maybe there were games where Reece James was
Well, we've
available and he
only
was also available and he just didn't get to play, but
well,
he has
yeah,
been
but to be
injured a
fair,
lot.
we're only played 21 games in the Premier League, so he's
Yeah,
effectively played in 7 in his
but
first season.
we're also in the Carabao Cup and we've got to the final of the fucking thing. And we've played
Well, that's a point.
a
That is
couple
a
of games in
point.
the FA Cup as well.
Hang on,
So
hang on. He has made all competitions. He's made 19. He's played 14 times in the Premier League, once in the FA Cup, 4 times in the League Cup. So yeah, he's played 19
right, out of how many total games?
total games. You're looking at, hang on, fucking maths. 14, 15.
Yeah, I didn't really think
No,
about them.
21. Hang on, 21, 22, 26. Yeah, I think it's about 26 because I don't. He's played every game in the EFL Cup. We've only played once in the FA Cup. No, twice in the FA Cup. 27. Call it 27.
Right,
So he's missed 10 games.
okay. And
No,
3 of those
no,
he was
no,
banned
sorry, it's
for, I
not.
guess.
No,
But
no, he's missed 8 games.
okay. And 3 of them he was banned for. So
That's a fair point. I forgot that. So again, yeah. See, I knew deep down in my gut I didn't need to worry about him on that level.
he has had a pretty serious injury though, and I
No,
think
he
he's
has,
had a lot
but
of
he's
niggly ones rather than like a long term one potentially. And maybe that's why, because it's been 3 instances of it, but he's not actually missed that many games.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think he is one to watch out for because he also had that long term injury just after we signed him for 6
Well,
months.
he had the exact same injury as Reece.
Yeah, so I think he's on that list, and I think if he becomes perennially fit, then I don't think it's a bad situation that we've got. And maybe if he's perennially fit as well, the argument becomes how much of a drop off is he to Reece James? And if we can get 80 million for Reece James and he goes straight to the bottom line, if the injuries keep continuing, then maybe Reece James becomes a sale. But I think both of those are a bit. One of them needs to get to a position where they can stay fit week in, week out. And I think we're in a good position.
At the moment, I think Gusto is going to be the one. It depends on how this surgery goes for Reece and how he rehabilitates from having that hamstring surgery, which he's finally decided to have. I've said it before. I think if we want to see the best of Reece James next season, I don't think he plays
Mm.
this unless it's a cup final. So if we get to the FA Cup final, or there's a couple of big games, but he's fit enough because he's done all the work in training. He might not have minutes, match minutes, but if he's fit enough to play in a big game that might get us a European spot, whatever spot that is, or a final, that'd be the only thing that I would do. But I would still wrap him in bubble wrap and not make him play the full game. Do you know what I mean? I would
I
really.
think if I think if Gusto's fit, match fit, I'd have him over a not match fit Reece James. I do think Reece James takes a little bit of time to come back.
He does, and that's why I've said there's the argument where he shouldn't play. However, we still have another defender that we need to speak about in the fullback position, who also has injury problems. But Gusto for me, I think you're right. It's niggly injuries. It's not much for it, and I'm really happy that he can play both right back and left back.
Yeah,
Bashir Humphreys, he's on loan at Swansea. They are 16th in the league out of 24. He has made 17 appearances in all competitions and scored 1 goal.
fair.
I quite liked him in pre-season.
I see. For me, it's a toss up between Trev and Bashir, and one of them sticks around
Well,
on the basis that, huh?
In my mind, Trev's going. I
But would you get rid of him, or is it just because of FFP and they don't like him, so you're going to get rid? Would you keep him?
I would keep him, and I would keep him over Dizazi. I think Bashir might be a little bit too early. Give him another loan, but at the same time, if I had to sell him, I would, because
I think I'm in agreement, but I think if I'm picking this, I'm going. I'd rather have Trevor as a backup right centre back than Dizazi, and I'm keeping him.
yeah, I would keep him. Yeah,
So yeah, I think keep Trev, loan Humphreys, and hopefully he can get a Premier League loan, and we can see what he can do, and he can do something like what Colwell did, and either we decide at that point, yeah, he's good enough for that right centre back slot. Well, I think he might be left footed anyway. Or we put his name in the shop window and sell him.
I have a feeling actually he said that he's left-footed. I'm pretty
He
sure he played
might
on
be.
the left in pre-season.
Malensar, very easy sell. Very easy sell.
I was half expecting you to go,
Who's
"Fuck's
that?
that?"
No, Malensar. I thought when we brought him in, it was a good shout on the basis that we got him for free. And seemed to be a reasonable defender. And he's before he joined us, never really worked out for him at Chelsea. Hasn't really worked out for him on loan since.
He's
Couldn't
not
even
even.
get a loan this season.
Yeah, he's done nothing this season.
So I think, yeah, makes sense to get rid. Chilwell for me is a keep on the basis that he's the only left back. Keep. He's a
Oh,
keep.
sorry, I went absolutely.
Fuck are you doing?
That's why I'm getting tested for ADHD.
Jesus Christ.
One of many.
Basically, because he's the only actual out and out left back that we've got with this current setup, with Cucurella and Matson leaving. I do think we need a backup for him that's of a reasonable. If we can find someone similar to Gusto that is of a very similar level, then I don't have a problem keeping him.
Can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but I really want the Leverkusen left back. I know he's only just joined.
Ronaldo,
Yeah, I know he's only just joined last
yeah,
summer, but yeah, but they're doing so well, Leverkusen. So
but they're going to lose their manager in the summer,
yeah, they are. Yeah,
probably. I'll put my bet in
he's
now,
got
but
a clause. He's got a clause in his contract with Leverkusen that if Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, or Liverpool come along asking for him,
he can
he can
go.
go. And that clause comes in 2024.
He is the natural next shout,
Yeah.
and I think Liverpool fans would love that. Anywho, I think Gilchrist is alone. Gilchrist has done nothing wrong so far. I have a problem with him though because he's undersized to be a centre back, and I don't think he's got qualities that. Well, I haven't seen enough qualities from him that makes up for his lack of size as a centre back.
But
I
he can
haven't seen enough of a passing range or enough of a benefit that means that he could be a long-term centre back. Right back, I don't think he's quick enough. The only thing that I could see happening with him is someone we loan him out and someone turns him into a CDM, and he has a bit of a Declan Rice transformation, and maybe there's something there. I can't see it at the minute him being a starting centre back for Chelsea in the Premier League.
I could see him in a back three.
But I don't want us to play a back three.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I agree with. I'm not disagreeing with anything you said, but I do like him from what I've seen of him. Again, he's done nothing wrong. I get what you're saying, but as you were saying that, I was like, do you know what? I think he would work really well in a back three.
Yeah,
But
fine.
I agree. We shouldn't be. We as a club at the moment should not be playing with a back three.
No, I don't.
So I agree. I think he should be loaned out. Whether now is the right time is what I would argue, just because of the fucking injuries we keep getting at the back.
You've told me to ignore injuries and squad
No, 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 no.
issues. So
Oh,
now, and
wait,
then
no, no.
now,
I'm
when I
saying
put
no,
someone
no.
in
I'm not
loan, you're
saying
like,
that.
oh
I've
no,
put him
no,
in
it's squad
loan.
issues.
I've put him in the loan column.
Yeah,
I
fine.
agree.
Any reason to have a pop, isn't it? Really unbelievable.
You all want to talk, right? Um, do you know what that cell column's getting full pretty quickly. Like it's not gonna take long to fill up that cell column. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're on to midfielders now, and it's you. So let's see how many
Well,
you're.
to be fair, that's the end of part one
Yeah,
of the goalkeepers and defenders. Let us know your comments below. Any thoughts? I actually don't think we've done too badly there. Oh yeah, to be fair, Chilwell is on my list of fringe players, by the
I knew
way.
he was.
Yeah, no, he is. Um,
Yeah, I genuinely, I think he's one of the best left backs in the world, though.
well, this is it. I love what Chilwell and Reece do, but I cannot understand having both of them in the squad if they're. I didn't check his appearances, to be fair. I should have done, but it's not going to be too dissimilar to what Reece has done over the last 2 years.
No,
If anything, I think his is worse because at one point he was out for a lot longer with Reece. I think his initial injury was worse. Um, it doesn't make sense having them both in the squad if that's what's going to happen moving forward.
unless we've got two unbelievable backups.
Yeah,
So he's getting a pretty excellent left back in, but
I actually think at the moment you're looking more at with the way things are going. You would actually be arguing going if you're going to keep Chilwell, it's because he's then going to be the backup. And same with
I think
Reece.
he's too good. Like I just don't know who we're getting in that Chilwell becomes the backup.
This is what I'm saying. I feel like these are two positions where actually we need to buy and buy well.
Yeah, to be honest,
Maybe not because we've got Gusto.
yeah,
He said if he can stay fit and he can play on both, but we need another fullback that is better than the other options that we've got that can stay fit.
yeah. I mean, again, I would have taken Tino Livramento back, but he's got his own injury problems. So,
Yeah, and he didn't want to come back to us. He chose Newcastle over us because we tried to buy him back.
not something I'd heard. I'm surprised by that. But then again, he did force his way out. So, and probably knew he was behind Chilwell if Chilwell was fit anyway.
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't
yeah,
be against having Lewis Hall back and letting him play left back, like backup left back, to be honest. Like he's fine as a backup left back.
yeah. I'll put him in midfield. I mean, to be fair, he plays midfield defense, but
I
the
mean, for Chelsea, he's always like for the first team, he generally has played
left back.
at left back, but he is a midfielder generally by trade. So I
That's
do
why I put him in the midfield bit because I think Newcastle have been playing him in midfield when he has made appearances.
far between, bless him.
Thank you all for watching part one of the Keep, Loan, and Sell episode. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we will discuss midfielders.